February 28th, Tuesday. Definitely the very last day before the challenge ends. Good morning. What I need to do is address the second biggest elephant on this bike since I started, and that will be the rear wheel spacing. To come from, well, this sprocket I do believe is just from the same as you would find on a BMX, and that threaded onto these single speed wheels, no problem, or it was on there, I can't remember. This is fine, feels really healthy. I've had some lubricant in there. This is not about that. So what I'm addressing now is the spacing of the axis. And let me double check that you are actually able to follow me. Yes, I think you can clearly see. So if you so want, I want this to be as far outside this direction as I can. So that means I'm going to take this bolt out of the assembly off. So to bring it to your attention, this is symmetrical. I used 14 millimeters of spacing, and then this would hit the frame here at this bolt. So what I'm doing now is I'm making this more asymmetrical. Actually, this wheel is wired up completely asymmetrical. This beats me why that is a good idea, or why this was done like that, but it doesn't matter to me. I will make this fit for my own purposes. So go back to what I'm doing here. I am moving this sprocket as far outboard towards the left stop of the frame. So how do I do that? I will place one of these wide bolts here with a slightly narrower one. So these are 4.5 millimeters wide, whereas this is 6. So that doesn't gain much, but it will gain some. So that's me taking this bolt out and putting this one in instead. Okay, I'm gonna use more bite. This has little grooves on both sides. I'm now looking for the one that has the most teeth still alive, so that's this one. And I'm going in. So the position of that is now to do the math. We had 14 millimeters here to start with. I'm replacing one of these fat ones with 2 of these narrow ones, so I'm losing 3 millimeters, and I'm going to take that off on equal sides, so I have a 1.5 millimeters less of thread, which is fine. There was plenty. So that means that this bolt here is coming out to a distance of 12.5 millimeters. So that is here, measured there. 12.5. So here we go. Almost. Have you ever come across these plastic calipers made in China? I think they sent them to your house, free shipping, for something like 2 or 3 euros or pounds. most easy to find is Britain for goods to come from China. That's strange, but it's true. So I'm adjusting to 12.5. 12.5. And these things, they don't break because you just think they're flimsy, so you really do not treat them any which way bad. They're not precious, but they have this is like the bad penny that just keeps staying with you. So this is us in the right position. Now we're going to bring this out. And that was very silly of me. Yes, I know. So now I need to bring this one in. Okay, now I do not need to bring this one in. The logic's quite simple. Once this disappears, I can't tighten it anymore. So I need to focus on the left side from my perspective, right side from your perspective. This side I'm talking about. I'm going to adjust this to 12.5 and tighten it. Get there. That is about right. .5. So we are going to be ready in a minute to tighten these two things together. Let's just double check. So this little Chinese vernier caliper has the tendency to readjust itself when you don't want it. And when you want it, it's sticky. Maybe I should put some grease on it. Maybe that will help. I will put some grease on it. Anyway, let's focus. So the bad penny always stays for you. I recommend buy one of these. They're super cheap. You don't care. They don't get lost. They're like, they stay with you. They're faithful. So I recommend them. There's no brand on it. It's a direct copy of some proper vernier calipers as you know them. Right. Let's worry about that another day. So adjust. I'm sorry, I'm a little frazzled today. My mind is frazzly and I do not like to focus on numbers. I'm not good with numbers. I'm an artist, so that means my right side of my brain is overdeveloped and the numbers brain doesn't function so well. So if you hear me repeating numbers all the time, pardon me, that's just me. 12.5. Here we go. Let's try and not mess with that. This is not fit now. Go in with this, follow with that. Go in with this, follow with that one. Go in with this, follow with that. 12.5. Double checking. 12.5. Nothing has adjusted, so that's nice. Hold this here. We are good. So now it's the time to tighten the conus, as they say in German. Conus, is that a chamfer in British English? Maybe. No, it's not. A chamfered race, negative hollow, halfway round thingy. Yep, that's what that is, a conus. So I'm trying to adjust these two things without them changing their position in relation to the axis. So I will bolt this on as tight as my SIG tool will let me. Okay, it's better like that. And off we go. this has worked. I think this is fine. Now all I have to do is push this down the way, and I can work on the other side. The reason why I'm doing the drive side first is because now I couldn't get in there with the tool. You can follow me here. Cannot get in there. So that's why I'm adjusting. You know the measurements. You can move it outboard, and you're good. You can adjust it, and then you move it in, and it goes. So basically that's what we were after here. We are closer with this bolt to the free wheel. And that is that. The rest is easy. We can now just go in with this and adjust to liking. And since this was wobbly, I showed you that before, I can now readjust this so it's not wobbly anymore. Something like that. Too tight. Too tight. The thing about this is here, it is just so bad. So that's what, again, I like to repeat. I need your help. I need to find a new axis for this, because I'm thinking the axis is bent. How does this tighten itself when I turn it? So hard to understand what's going on here. So that's too tight. That's clear. That's not tight, but it's not really running nicely. Still not. Oh, I just realized the trick. That's so bad. I honestly do not understand what's going on. I think, yeah, I'm going to listen to your recommendation, but I can just as well imagine that the proper fix for this is a new hub. Or how about a whole new set of single speed wheels? So this is funny, because when I look at this, look at this, look at this, look at this. Can't do this wobbly. Let me just wobble it sideways then, and then use that as a... Now it's not even turning. This is so bad. See how much this wobbles? And if I just turn it like a quarter of a turn. Okay, I'll turn it until it's no longer wobbly. That's how I'm going to do it. I'm going to tighten it by holding the top and moving the inside to the up, giving it a millimeter of extra space, like that. And that, hopefully, is not wobbly. Okay. That's how we're going to do it. And go for it. Have you ever wondered why on these Konus they don't put enough space for a flange so you can put a proper wrench on it? How stupid. So stupid. Okay, well this is when the tool slips off. The marzipan tool. Look at this shade. I need to buy something decent. This is obviously a bad tool, but it did the job for now. And I hope to God it's not wobbling and it's sort of turning. Let's hope it will grind itself free as time goes by. Time for tea. Time for some Chinese tea. I was invited to China in January to teach a course at the transportation design course at SCFIE, which is one of the biggest art institutes in China, because it's in Chongqing. Chongqing, if you never heard of Chongqing, don't fret. It's only the biggest city on the planet. I think it measures now 35 million people. Used to be the motorcycle capital of the planet. Made most motorcycles ever anywhere, and it's now a massive industrial hub for other things. There's lots of car manufacturing. That's why I was there in the first place. Right, so the university invited me to do a course, teach some clueless Chinese people some basic principles. That was fun, and when I was in a hotel they had something very similar to this, and I fell in love with it because I was jet lagged and I stayed up all night and I drank tea and then I couldn't sleep at all ever. So, but I love this little machine. So let me explain just a minute. Let's take a tea break. It's so good. I mean, it's tiny, as you can see, compared to my hands. My hands are not particularly big. So there's a little sieve in there, as you know it, from some of your Italian coffee machines. Very similar sieve, but it's much more fine meshed. So leaves go in here, water goes on top. You huckle away the first filling of water because you wash the tea leaves. And then you pour it into just a tiny little cup. And because there's so much surface, and because it's so small, it cools off so that you more or less immediately can drink it. So that was today's Chinese tea ceremony. Very sophisticated. Lots of information. Ah ha 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 ha. And I love it. And I drink this way more often since, because I can, because I love it, and it's pretty much healthier than coffee. So, one thing left to do. Obviously we have taken away something, and now we need to add something, and that we will do on this side. Again, the teas goes to the inside. Stay with me, my friend. That's just to correct the spacing, and let's see how successful we were. 12 point, not quite, but once we tighten that, it'll be good. So I'm going to need a second 16mm wrench, which there isn't. What am I going to do? Let's check over here. Oh yeah. This one will do nicely. should do something that you can see. It's a bit awkward. No. Yep. So this is the counter nut that I'm holding with my adjustable wrench, and then that is a 16, I think. Hopefully, okay. And I can feel the teeth snoopsing, and there we are. Our wheel is now other from a little wipey wipe. Let's do that. Wipe and wipe. Shouldn't really wipe this at this very moment because I'm going to add some more. What am I going to put in there? I have an idea. I'm gonna use the finest Turkish olive oil I have in my house. Into one of these. How brilliant. With a needle, yes please. Let me feel. I should tell you that this is like the world's finest bicycle lubricant oil, shouldn't I? Yeah. It's just nothing but olive oil. And yes, this will create a bit of a mess because olive oil does this for me. Don't know why. Actually, this is the first. I have seen this on another British channel run by a shop. I'm not going to use too much because I'm not sure how good this is. Nope. No, not like that. Come on. Okay, whatever. Now I made a mess, finally. Does this want the... Now I just want the more air out. Okay, in we are. We are in. That is in tight. Okay. Wehee! We got it. Clean this a little. Put this back on. Nice and tight. Yeah. And get rid of all the air. Feel like a nurse doctor. One here, out. Yeah. Theoretically this doesn't matter because I'm obviously not injecting any air into an airtight space. So, that's it. I would like to say that I didn't invent this. And even though it doesn't really work very well. This is a whole lot more precise than spoon feeding a little child with some porridge. Yeah. Okay, that concludes our wheel. Axis is barely turning, but it's not wobbling and everything's good. As far as I can. Now, I'd like to repeat, please leave your comments what you would do with this rear axis. It turns, but it's wobbly, it's grumbly, it's definitely not good enough. So what would you do? Change the hub, change the axis, change the axis, cones and balls. The cups, as far as I remember, they were fine. Okay, so that's that. We'll upload this in a minute. Hope you enjoy it. And then we'll get on with the rest of it with another video.